So the first group chose the John Quincy Adams one, and you chose the effective leadership. It's not about making speeches. All right, fair enough. Great. Let's move on to the next group. Who's next? Yes. And your name is? Rutendo. Put your hands together for sorry, the other one was who? Papi got favor. Oh, is it racism?
My group is the Invincibles. They chose the second part. If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you're a leader. By John Quincy Adams. That's our best quote. Well, we say that because we say leadership is about the legacy, not the things. It's mainly about the legacy. You make how you inspire other people to do more things. And it's about the influence you give to other people. We gave an example of Nelson Mandela there. The actions that he undertook to be able to fight apartheid inspired, it influenced South African leaders as well as worldwide, even Barack Obama and other people. And there was the founding of the Young American Leadership Fellowship Program, as well as the Mandela Foundations. So that's why we chose the first one. We say that the inspiration that you put within other people allows them to dream more, and they also do more. That's impacting their societies. An example, another quote from there is we also quoted Mahatma Gandhi. He says that be the change that you want to see. So that also includes the actions that you do. It allows others to dream. Then our West was effective leadership is not about making speeches or being liked. Leadership is defined by results, not attributes. Why would we say that? Because effective leadership your attributes contribute to the results that you come out with. For an example about Hitler. Hitler was a leader, but his attributes about him being cruel, he used his attributes in getting results, but were the results helpful? The results, to a certain extent, according to us as a group, they weren't helping in that they killed the Jewish population. As well, leaders need to interact and inspire. If you're someone who's you're an introvert, that really doesn't help in making results or in giving results to the nation or to the people that you're leading. So we believe that if you are a leader, you should possess certain attributes. You should be someone who should have good communication skills, good interpersonal skills. You shouldn't be someone who was an introvert or was silent. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's hear from the remaining groups. Yes. Please come forward. And your name again?
Kelvin.
Kelvin. Put your hands together for Kelvin.
On behalf of Group 4, we are the winning Knights. We chose number 2 as our best squad. With action inspires us to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more. We are a leader. As a group, depicted the actions of Obama. We managed to change the situation between US and Cuba. The relations were kind of frosted. So now they're thawing, and it is a situation which persisted for more than 50 years. But however, trade and other positive actions are now on a positive course, and things are changing. And he's one of the leaders. He's vying for climate change worldwide, and his actions are inspiring for us youths and everyone else to engage really in the aspect of climate change, which affects us as people residing. And our West coach was number 1. I'm not afraid of an army of lions led by a sheep. I'm afraid of an army led. I'm afraid of an army of sheep led by a lion. Reason being, any species can be a leader despite strengths and habits. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. How many more groups are left? 2 groups. Let's start with that and then we'll finish up. Right, who's presenting from there? Mr. Confidence, put your hands together for you.
The quote we agree with the most is the one by Nelson Mandela. The reason being that him, as a leader, he he took the backstage, but then when there is danger, he put himself in the forefront. And our example would be the president of Zimbabwe. And the quote we agree with the list would be the first one by Alexander the Great. Why? Because the last part he says, I am afraid of an army of sheep led by a lion, simply discredits the weight of each and every individual who is in an organization. If he had said sheep led by, actually lions led by a lion, it actually means that each and every individual in the corporate, in the company, is of some weight. But then in this instance, it simply means that it does not value the weight of each and every other individual in the organization. And our example would be that of Adolf Hitler. He was a fierce leader, everyone feared him, but then there was no one else significant besides him.
Thank you. Right, last but not least, who's presenting on behalf of a group? Name?
Tinashe.
Tinashe. Put your hands together for Tinashe. Please come forward.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I'll first go about telling you about our name. Most of you probably think it's meaningless. And this, it's ambition meets vision.
What's it? Say it.
Amphis, ambition meets vision.
Ambition meets vision. I think that's so good. Should we give them some more points?
Yes. Okay, as a group, the quote that we did agreed was most meaningful to us was this one by John Quincy Adams. If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. We agreed to that. I'll first give you an example why we agreed to that. We agreed to that looking at the life of Strike Masiyiwa, how he has inspired many, how he has led the fight against Ebola, how everybody followed his example when he gave his money towards that, and he created a platform for every African, everyone in the world to contribute in the fight against Ebola. That he inspired everyone. So we agreed with that because leaders should lead and give others show others the way to go. Since people are free moral agents, people should aspire to your dreams. And if people aspire to your dreams, you become an inspiration. So we thought it was the best quote. Then the one that we agreed was the least one that we agreed with was the last one. Effective leadership is not about making speeches or being liked. Leadership is defined by results, not attributes but track record. We did not agree with this quote in the sense that a leader has to communicate good. People have to understand your vision, your dream. We took an example of President Barack Obama. how he managed to win an election because of his message of hope. We all remember how he wrote, he even has a book, Audacity of Hope. So he communicated the vision that he had for the nation, and people liked him. So a vision, a good leader has to be able to communicate, he has to be liked by people, and leadership is not always defined by results. Because if you force people to get results always, people will be somehow frustrated if they don't get results, or you end up pushing people too much, people will overwork and wear out, and that doesn't make you a good leader. That's what we discussed.
Yes. Wonderful. Thank you all. I think you had quite insightful discussions. May I just go through and give you my take on this? Because I think some of them, perhaps the interpretation you had was slightly different from the usual context in which it's interpreted. The first one is simply saying, if you have a leader who is lacking in confidence, who is weak, you will be destroyed. Even if you have very strong people that are in your army. When the leader is weak, then the strength that you have elsewhere will not be able to compensate for weak leadership. So if you are a leader who is strong, not just you personally, but strong in terms of inspiring others, etc., then you can even inspire a sheep with a down one and it will go and face a shunga. That's the context in which that first one is used. I think the second one, people understood it very well. Third one, I think is understood very well. Fourth one, it wasn't understood so well. That one, you can look at it in the context of saying, okay, look at a country. Look at Germany in the Second World War. Supposing you were a lieutenant or a colonel or something in the army, and your job is strictly to capture, maybe you're put in charge of a concentration camp, to capture Jews, torture them, and kill them. And you do this well. You capture them, you write the numbers, you write the names, you kill them, you are doing a good job. In terms of management, you are managing fine, right? But in terms of leadership, are you doing the right thing? The leader is the one who now says, guys, yes, we've been doing this, but it's wrong. For whatever reason, maybe it violates universal principle. So therefore, when we say management is doing things right, the manager is given, let's say, tasks to perform and has to perform them well and has to make sure people perform them well. The leader is the one who decides the vision, kwateka nanga, right? So supposing we say, there's an example used in 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, which I'll talk about just now. We say we want to clear the forest and create a road between here and Chipinge. So we say, in order to do this, we need bulldozers to remove the trees. We need people with machetes to remove the grass. And we need to make sure that every day we clear 10 kilometers. So the manager's mandate is to clear 10 kilometers. And it. But at some point, someone stands on top of a tree and says, we are working efficiently 10 kilometers per day, but kwatananga ukuchivwa kusikuchipinga. Now that's the leader. The manager is doing things right, clearing 10 kilometers per day, but the leader is saying, where are we headed? That's how we explain that. Effective leadership is not about making speeches or being liked. Leadership is defined by results, not attributes. I think it is important to realize that not all leaders are charismatic. And some of the most effective leaders were not very likable or very good speakers. I can think of people like Abraham Lincoln. I read his biography. He was not a very good-looking person, firstly. And he was not a great orator necessarily. But he would make decisions, stand by those decisions, and make sure that they're the right decisions. Who else comes to mind? Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs was not a nice person. He was nasty. You know what he believed in? He believed everybody was wrong except him. And he got this big. Right? And he was very critical. You design something, he looks at it, it's ugly. I don't like it. But he got results. And he got Apple to where it is today. So it's a balance, it's a fine balance between being popular and getting the results that you want. There's some leaders who make decisions that might be unpopular for the short term, but that will ultimately be good in the long term. So you can imagine if Abraham Lincoln abolished slavery in America, that was not a popular decision. I think a lot of people didn't like it. In fact, that led to his assassination. But as a leader, the times when you want results and you know this is the right thing to do. So you can't always be liked by people. And as a parent, I know I'm not always popular with the children. There are decisions that I make that they don't like. And I tell them, someday you'll have your own children. Just do this. Right. Are you happy? Yes. In your group, in the next 2 minutes, I want you to discuss what have you learned so far this morning that you will apply. After that 2 minutes, we will have our refreshment break, and then we'll proceed later. Just discuss so far, what have you learned? Right, listen, we're going to do something really, really fast. I would